Hello everyone, welcome to Current Affair MCQs program. Let's begin with previous day's practice question. Question was, consider the following statements regarding climate action. 1. COP29 will include discussions on expanding the loss and damage fund initially established at COP27 to address climate impacts on vulnerable countries. 2. The United States and the European Union have proposed that large emerging economies like China and India also contribute financially to climate goals. 3. India is prioritizing domestic climate actions to reduce dependency on fossil fuels and enhance energy security. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none? The correct answer is option C, all three. COP29 includes efforts to expand the loss and damage fund established at COP27, aiming to provide financial support for vulnerable nations facing severe climate impact. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The US and EU have proposed that emerging economies with high emissions like China and India contribute financially to climate goals, challenging traditional distinctions between developed and developing nations. Hence, statement 2 is correct. India's focus on domestic climate action includes reducing fossil fuel dependency, enhancing energy security, and aligning with its long-term sustainability objectives. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Now let's begin today's episode. First question is, consider the following statements. 1. The Niti Aayog report Unlocking the Power of Healthy Longevity published in 2024 highlights an increase in non-communicable diseases. 2. Non-communicable diseases are projected to account for 3/4 of all deaths in India by 2030. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? The correct answer is option B, 2 only. The World Bank's 2024 report Unlocking the Power of Healthy Longevity does emphasize the demographic shift towards an aging population and the rise in non-communicable diseases in low and middle income countries. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. The NCDs are projected to account for 3/4 of all deaths in India by 2030, driven by increasing rates of diseases like cardiovascular issues, cancer, respiratory illnesses, and diabetes. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Next question. Consider the following statements regarding the India-Middle East-Europe corridor, that is IMEC. 1. IMEC is expected to reduce transit time between its eastern and western nodes by 40% and cost by 30% compared to transportation via the Suez Canal. 2. The corridor's progress has been significantly impacted by the escalation of the Israel-Palestine conflict. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? The correct answer is option C, both 1 and 2. India-Middle East-Europe corridor, or IMEC. The IMEC aims to reduce transit time by 40% and cost by 30% compared to the Suez Canal route. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The conflict between Israel and Palestine, especially since 7 October 2023, has affected the involvement of Saudi Arabia and Jordan in the IMEC, leading to delays on the corridor's western segment. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Next question. Consider the following statements regarding climate finance for developing countries. 1. Developed countries committed to provide $100 billion annually by 2020 to assist the developing countries with climate finance, a target that was first met in 2022. 2. The Loss and Damage Fund was established at COP28 to compensate vulnerable countries for climate change-related loss and damage. 3. The projected economic cost of climate change-related loss and damage in developing countries by 2050 is estimated to reach between $1 trillion and $1.8 trillion annually. How many of the statements given above is or are not correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, or none? The correct answer is option D, none. That is, all the statements are correct. Climate finance for developing countries. Developed countries committed to provide $100 billion annually by 2020 to assist developing nations with climate finance. However, this target was consistently missed until 2022, when it was first achieved with $116 billion. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The Loss and Damage Fund was established at COP28 to assist countries vulnerable to the adverse effects of climate change. Following its creation, 23 countries pledged a total of $700 billion, although the contribution falls short of actual requirements. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The estimated economic cost of climate-related loss and damage in developing countries is projected to increase significantly, reaching between $1 trillion and $1.8 trillion by 2050. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Next question, consider the following statements regarding the India-Myanmar-Thailand Trilateral Highway or IMTTH. 1. The IMTTH project, once completed, will establish a direct overland link between India and Thailand, bypassing the maritime route through the Malacca Strait. 2. The IMTTH project aligns with India's Act East policy, enhancing its connectivity and trade with ASEAN nations including Thailand and Myanmar. 3. The IMTTH is expected to reduce India's dependency on Chinese infrastructure for Southeast Asian market access by providing a more direct trade route to the ASEAN region. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none? The correct answer is option C, all three. India-Myanmar-Thailand Trilateral Highway or IMTTH. The IMTTH will create a direct overland route from India to Thailand, reducing reliance on maritime routes like the Malacca Strait, where China has considerable influence. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The IMTTH supports India's Act East policy by improving connectivity with ASEAN countries, facilitating economic integration and enhancing trade, particularly with Thailand and Myanmar. Hence, statement 2 is correct. By establishing this corridor, India aims to reduce its dependence on trade routes that involve Chinese-controlled infrastructure, allowing for more independent access to the ASEAN market. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Next question, consider the following statements regarding the types and causes of inflation. 1. Cost push inflation occurs when consumer demand for goods and services exceeds their supply, often driven by high consumer spending in a booming economy. 2. Demand pull inflation results from a rise in production cost, which may include factors like increased wages, higher raw material cost, or supply chain disruptions. 3. Built-in inflation occurs when higher wages lead to higher production cost, causing businesses to raise prices, thereby creating a feedback loop of rising wages and prices. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none? The correct answer is option A, only one. Demand pull inflation occurs when there is high consumer demand that exceeds the available supply, often resulting from increased spending during a strong economic period. This excess demand drives prices up. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. Cost push inflation happens when the cost of production increase, which can include rising wages, higher cost of raw materials, or disruptions in the supply chain. These increased costs lead businesses to raise prices. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Built-in or wage price inflation is a cyclical process where rising wages lead to higher production cost, prompting businesses to increase prices. This price increase then leads workers to demand higher wages, creating a continuous loop of rising cost and prices. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Next question, consider the following statements regarding the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code in India. Statement 1. The IBC has traditionally involved significant losses for creditors, with early cases seeing creditors take substantial haircuts. Statement 2. Recent cases under the IBC demonstrate a shift towards more favorable recoveries for creditors, including instances where recoveries have exceeded admitted claims. Which one of the following is correct in respect of the above statements? Both statements are correct and statement 2 is the correct explanation for statement 1. Both statements are correct and statement 2 is not the correct explanation for statement 1. Statement 1 is correct but statement 2 is incorrect, or statement 1 is incorrect but statement 2 is correct. The correct answer is option B. Both statements 1 and 2 are correct and statement 2 is not the correct explanation for statement 1. Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, that is IBC in India. In the early years of the IBC, creditors often faced substantial losses with deep haircuts taken in many cases, reflecting the high level of non-performing assets and distressed situations the regime had to address initially. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Recent cases under the IBC have shown a trend towards improved recoveries for creditors. Some cases have been resulted in creditors recovering more than the admitted claims due to contractual clauses or competitive bidding, indicating a shift towards a more creditor-friendly framework. Hence, statement 2 is correct. So, both statements 1 and 2 are correct and statement 2 is not the correct explanation for statement 1. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Next question, consider the following statements regarding India's approach to a sustainable and resilient energy transition. 1. India aims to shift from centralized energy systems to decentralized systems with a focus on distributed renewable energy sources. 2. Emphasizing a circular economy is crucial for India as it can enhance mineral security by salvaging valuable materials from waste. 3. India's energy transition approach includes a shift towards protectionist industrial policies similar to the US and EU to create a self-sustaining, clean energy supply chain. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none? The correct answer is option B, only two. India's approach to a sustainable and resilient energy transition. India is focusing on decentralized energy systems such as distributed renewable energy including rooftop solar to address its increasing power demand and ensure energy access. Hence, statement 1 is correct. India is emphasizing a circular economy, particularly in managing waste from solar energy infrastructure to recover valuable minerals and strengthen critical mineral security. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Unlike the US and EU, India's approach discourages protectionist industrial policies. Instead, India aims to integrate itself into global supply chains for clean energy technologies, fostering collaboration and interdependence rather than focusing on self-sufficiency. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Next question. Consider the following statements regarding the recent Supreme Court verdict on demolition of properties in India. 1. The Supreme Court ruled that demolishing the properties of individuals accused of crimes without due process violates fundamental rights and principles of natural justice. 2. Under the new guidelines, officials responsible for unauthorized demolitions may be held personally accountable for the restitution of the demolished properties. 3. The court's directives apply universally, including unauthorized structures located in public spaces like roads and footpaths. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none? The correct answer is option B, only two. Judgment on demolition of properties in India. The Supreme Court has ruled that demolishing the homes and properties of those merely accused of crimes without following due process violates fundamental rights and principles of natural justice. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The court had stipulated that officials who carry out unauthorized demolitions in violation of its guidelines may be held personally accountable for the restitution of demolished properties. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The court's directives do not apply universally. The court specified that its direction would not apply to unauthorized structures located in public spaces such as roads, streets, footpaths, and areas near railway lines. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Next question regarding the World Solar Report series, consider the following statements. 1. It is an annual flagship report of the International Energy Agency. 2. It is a concise overview of global solar technology advancements, key challenges, and investment trends, providing valuable insights into the industry's growth. Which of the statements given above are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? The correct answer is option B, 2 only. The World Solar Report series was launched by the International Solar Alliance in 2022. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. Recently, at the 7th Assembly of the ISA, the 3rd edition of the World Solar Report series was released. This year's series comprises 4 key reports: the World Solar Market Report, the World Investment Report, the World Technology Report, and the Green Hydrogen Readiness Assessment for African countries. It offers a concise overview of global solar technology advancements, key challenges, and investment trends, providing valuable insights into the industry's growth. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Last question. Regarding the Pradhan Mantri Vidya Lakshmi scheme, consider the following statements. 1. It aligns with the National Education Policy 2020 and aims to provide collateral-free, guarantor-free loans to students. 2. Students who are enrolled in IITs and IIMs are only eligible to avail the benefit of the scheme. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? The correct answer is option A, 1 only. Pradhan Mantri Vidya Lakshmi scheme. It aligns with the National Education Policy 2020 and aims to provide collateral-free, guarantor-free loans to students. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Students enrolled in institutions ranked within the top 100 by the National Institutional Ranking Framework and those in the 101 to 200 range from state government and all central government governed institutions. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. It can benefit over 22 lakh students with the list updated annually based on the latest NIRF rankings. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Now moving on to practice question, consider the following statements. 1. Reduce risk from pesticides by at least 50% by 2030. 2. Tackle climate change through nature-based solutions. 3. Restore 30% degraded ecosystems globally by 2030. How many of the above is or are key goals of the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework? Only one, only two, all three, or none? Send the answer of this question in the comment section. Thanks for watching. For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.